Hey guys, CowerTC back with some more 200 zoo. Pool looks okay, not amazing, but not horrendous at the same time. This is gonna open back quarter of the time. Gonna open slightly wider because the button's tight and maybe the big blind's not actually that tight. This is close. I think I'm just about gonna fold and gonna defend this though. Makes it quite small. I think we just check raise, get this in a lot of the time. Gonna have occasional slow played ace king, and then yeah, sixes and sevens. And I mean, we can't do much wrong with this hand. Like if he jams, we just easily get it in. Flipping against a king or a high flush draw. The big blind's not full betting almost, 3 betting almost at all in my sample, so I'm going to make a very loose open. And just bet range on the flop. Again, against these kind of more passive people doing a lot more range betting, the main drawback of range betting is that like a good regular can take advantage. And start raising you a hell of a lot, and you have to know how to defend against that. But a passive fish is not in any world going to be raising the flop enough to deter you from a range bet strategy. This is going to be calling against his like almost min 4-bet. It's also nice not being dominated versus his ace king, ace queen. But yeah, easy call here. I don't know if this ever check raises flop. Not sure. Turn, I think I'd prefer to bluff a hand like Queen Jack than I would this, or Queen 10 suited, King 10 suited. So I think I'm just going to check this and fold to any bet. Yeah, I think we just fold. We can even be dead here. Low frequency 3-bet. And same story here, low frequency. I'm just going to fold. I was over targeting this guy because of his high fold 3-bet, but he started playing back against me recently, so I'm like, he's been 4-betting me a lot recently when I've been 3-betting him, so I'm going to calm it down a little because I was just going absolutely crazy against him. That volume was on a different computer, hence he still has a 91% 3-bet in fold 3-bet on this computer sample. I think I'm going to call the ace-9 because this play looks like a recreational in the big blind. I wouldn't hate squeeze. I wouldn't even hate fold. I think it's probably the worst option. Checking range here, really good board for imposition. I think if I had ace-9 of spades, I'd check raise this flop quite a decent frequency, blocking ace-8 of spades, 9-8 of spades. With the clubs, I'm going to do it occasionally, but not all that frequently. Easy fold here. I will open twos because there are 3 players tagged green behind, including one that's light green. So this is like a tight fish, and then these are tight regs. But yeah, basically, the more green people there are, the more open. Try and steal the blinds. Opening wider here because this player is again a bit on the passive side. On the right hand side, I wouldn't always open king 4 off. Definitely not a standard open, but I think the conditions were right, especially with the smaller sizing that I use. Going 2/3 or check. I think this hand's just going to be a pure bet. Interesting. I think I'm going to raise some without the spade in my hand. And check back river. Yeah, just checking back river now. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. He's making some weird exploitative turn call, thinking I either have a queen or a draw, but I mean his hand just has such poor visibility on rivers. Like even on a 2 river, like he's not always. I mean, he's not gonna fold, but yeah. Like if I have a hand like Jack 10, this river comes. It's an easy check back. Like if I have a hand that beats him, Yeah, his call's just terrible. It's so bad. Like, I know what he's thinking, but it's just like really bad poker. And he's definitely never given me credit for raising a hand like this. Because if he realises that my raising range is a bit more merged, and isn't just Queen X or draw, then he's oh, obviously a misclick here. Roll a check back with the 10s on a 97. We will be betting the 10s at half decent frequency. I think with the... Okay, on the 25 I'm going to start betting. Gonna see bet here. Weird spot. I'm going to pretend like, oh, I meant to raise pre. So this board hits me a lot. But yeah, not really sure. Well, it's clearly not a GTO hand. I'm just trying to fake the misclick with like a strong hand pre. Or just with my under the gun range pre, I guess. This guy looks tight and passive, so I'm going to make quite a wide adjustment and open this pre. Don't think he's going to defend enough, or definitely don't think he's going to 3-bet enough. King 10 off against an under the gun limp feels a little bit loose to ISO. I think I'd ISO King Jack off, but King 10 I'm going to fold. Also note that I make my open raise smaller, given the big blind only has fake big blinds. So instead of my 2.3x open, I use my 2.15. Go in 3/4 or check. Roll check. So I guess I wouldn't have to go 3/4 because of his stack size. And this is going to make some raises and some calls. The worse our suited ace, the more I want to raise. I think this is going to be... On a 6 yard, I'm going to call. I think this one wants to raise pretty often though. And on the river we just have like the worst bluff combo ever. So probably going to give up. Rolling a check back here with the 8s. Definitely not a board we want to be c-betting range on in these positions. Did he just bet random ace 10 offset? Okay, well. And then he pips me by 1. Roll check back again with the 8s. And we're going to find a value bet on this river. I think he very rarely checks a queen. I think he bets pocket 10s almost always on the turn, and jacks he shouldn't have pre, so I feel pretty comfortable value betting this now on the river. It's definitely a hand that's going to bet on flop and turn at some frequency, but yeah, we're fairly passive on the flop and then very passive on the turn, so although turn, I think I'm almost always checking back 8s. No, maybe I won't. It's an interesting one. Our hand definitely needs a decent amount of protection. Yeah, maybe 8's actually bets a decent bit, and like 7, 8 pretty much always checks back. Either way, I rolled like 94 or something on the turn, I think, so I'm gonna make a very, very loose open. With 2 fish in the blinds. And gonna close to POC bet this hand. Got some really nice backdoors. Block his check raising range. Gonna be overbetting turn. Maybe I just go pot. I'm just gonna go pot. Against a reg, I think I'd overbet this turn, but against the fish, I don't want him to ever consider folding a 10, basically. And yeah, against fish, you don't need to play GTO or like. You can implement some thought processes like that, and I think they actually are just straight up good. And probably plus EV. Jack 10 suited versus under the gun against a 2.5x. We don't always get to free bet. I play free bet or fold unless there's a fish in the big blind. So it just means that sometimes we have to fold hands like that would be a plus EV call. Just because I prefer to play free bet or fold. I have a lot more experience with it, and the EV differences between strategies, especially at 200 NL, are pretty slim. When you start getting above 500, like when you get into 510 and above, then you definitely need to start having a flatting strategy, or it definitely adds significant EV, let's say. Maybe significance, not the word, but it adds like a solid amount of EV at 1k and above, but at 200 NL really doesn't add all that much. I think with our worst gut shot and with no heart in our hand, we're going to check this a lot and just hope he checks back. And definitely going to bluff this on the river. We roll passive. Threes I roll a low frequency call. Trying to think sizing here. I think I'm going to go for this size. I don't know if this size makes all that much sense. I'm folding over. Not having a raising range here, I don't think. And I'm definitely going to tank the turn. If I had a hand like Queen Jack, King Jack, I would really want to take my time here. doesn't have ace-5 suited, although I don't think that hand ever bets turn. And we have an easy jam on the river, not too scared of the 5, or not scared at all of the 5. The only hand I'm scared of really is aces. I'm definitely going to think again, because if I was going to turn a hand like again Queen Jack, I might even turn that into a bluff sometimes now on the river. Some of my worst Jack X, because I have hands like this, I have hands like Ace Jack, I need to find some bluffs from somewhere, so it's never going to be like an intuitive bluff. By the time we get to the river, we're going to have to be turning something. I guess King Queen of diamonds, clubs or spades is the most likely, and a hand that I'm definitely floating turn a lot with, so that I can have bluffs on the river. But I don't think we can just bluff King Queen, because we do have a lot of value combos. We have 5-4 suited, occasional pocket 3s and 2s, like we did have in this hand. A lot of, well, all of our ace jack suited, which I guess is only 3 combos. Or is it only 2 combos? Am I going mad? Is it only 2 diamonds and... I have ace jack of diamonds, and I can have ace jack of clubs. I can't have others, right? Yeah. So I guess it's only 2 combos of ace jack suited. But yeah, we have quite some value combos. 5-4 suited, we have a near pure frequency. I roll a check here with the a7. Not sure how often this hand wants to be bluffing. We've got the bad end of the gut shot. Kind of unblock fold, or we block folds rather. Like we block the ace is kind of like a neutral blocker. Like we block some decent hands, but also a lot of snap folds with the ace of clubs. I think this hand with the clubs just gonna pure check back. I would still bet some of my king 10 on the turn. I'm using overbet or check on the turn here. So king 10, like all my king 10s are gonna mostly check, and then I think when he does an overbet, I still have to raise this one. Yeah, on a 39, I'm going to raise. His size really doesn't make much sense. I do value myself as sometimes. I feel like he has a lot of queen jack, like a bad king. I feel like he's just sizing his hand, and really his range wants to either block or overbet. So I think he's highly weighted to queen x and weak king x, and then some bluffs. This is gonna mix. On a 40, I will bet. Betting a bit more with the spade. Blocking, continues blocking raises, giving us a bit more equity against any hand he might have that isn't a high flush already. Queen 7 off's actually a hand I really like ISOing, because we fold out some better offsuit 7x and offsuit Queen X. Very clear check back here. Turn we can definitely start bluffing this hand some frequency, but I think I'm just gonna fold against this. Roll aggro, but I think I want to half pot check this board, and I think Tennis just wants to pure check. I wonder if Tens gets to mix any folds against this size. I'd definitely prefer to have a hand like 8x. I don't see him bluffing many random hands, and all, so I think having the 2 10s is just really bad. So on the 16, I think I'm actually going to make a very tight fold. I'd definitely call a hand like ace-8 here. And I'm not pure folding the 10s there. But I don't think people are coming up with many random kind of weird bets there. I think they're pretty much just going to bet like Queen X or better, and then like some gut shots. Maybe a hand like ace 10 of hearts, ace 9 of diamonds, kind of double backdoor hand. I'm actually probably going to check raise this hand. It's got really nice properties for it, and I'm going to raise the turn here. Quite large. Maybe I should just call. I don't know, sometimes that happens where like I really want to check raise the flop and then it gets to a turn and I'm just still in an aggressive mood and I'm not thinking 100% clearly. Very easy check back now, I think. And yeah, I mean, if he's calling that, definitely going to take a note. Doesn't like to fold draws. Even bad ones. Like, he could call ace-7 there because he's ahead of some flush draws and stuff, but 10-7's just horrendous. But yeah, I'm not actually in love with my turn play. It's kind of a mergy one. But I guess I have to give up river when I have a pair a lot. Yeah, I think I should just call turn. Not the greatest play by me. I just kind of thought, ooh, I have really nice blockage to check raise flop, and then was still in aggro mode on the turn. And gonna be pure 4-betting this versus size and folding to a jam. The bigger villain goes, the more we want to either 4-bet or fold. So when he goes like nearly 4x my open, I think I'm just playing pure 4-bet or fold here. Yeah, like he goes nearly 4x. I think so. I'd usually fold here, given how short he is, but his stats just look absolutely crazy, and we've got quite a nice hand for a shallow stack depth as well. So I'm gonna call and folding flop. We roll 4-bet, but I actually just don't think this guy's folding. Like, he's just an absolute crazy net. So I think I just want to call. I just don't see this guy folding. Like, in a lot of cases, this is dead money, but I think with this player specifically, it's really not dead money. And I don't really want to 4-bet and then commit my stack against him. With a hand like this. Like, I don't think 4-bet's terrible there. And we look insanely strong, but yeah, I don't want to do it against this specific kind of player type with his stats. I just don't think we actually have much forward equity. Gonna min open because the big blind's short. Checking back on a 58, like, we can't bet too often here. We need to protect our check back range quite a lot. Yeah, our check back range needs a lot of protection here. Gonna bet the river value there. Okay. Yeah, I still think we have a clear value bet here. I think he's going to hero us moderately wide, like not crazily wide, but moderately wide. I think Jack X is mostly calling. A hand like pocket tens with a diamond. On a 19, we're going to bet Queen 10. And playing over bet or check on turn. I think even on a 64, I'm just going to go with overbet. This is probably too aggressive. But I think we get too much respect. So I think he's going to overfold. No spade in our hand. I think we even have to bluff the river as well. I think, like, we don't have to overbet river. I think I'm just going to bet big. And calling here. At this point, we're repping like a set or better. And he calls pocket fives. Right. Fair play. I think it's a pretty terrible call, but he was right, so fair play to the guy. But I mean, I'm definitely shutting down a hell of a lot of my bluffs by the river. Like, if I had Queen 10 with a spade, I'm definitely shutting down. But, I mean, given that I continued to barrel turn on a 64 roll with this hand, like, maybe... Well, I am over bluffing that spot. I still don't think fives is the hand to call. I think You want to have like 6-7, 8-7, something like that. Here he just blocks my bluffs. Checking back the ace-3. Queen 10 is going to mix there. I rolled passive, so went with the fold. Gonna fold, this guy looks pretty tight. There's a lot of draws, but I'm just gonna fold. Yeah, any hand with a spade in, any flush draw, I'm shutting down river. Like, I don't mind bluff catching that spot at all, but his hand's just really, really bad for it. Gonna check back aces with a spade pure here. And I think I'm actually meant to check this back a lot on the turn as well. Oof, this is horrible. This guy's a massive net. Definitely calling one. Not amazingly happy about it, especially with the ace of spades blocking a lot of his bluffs. But we're gonna call one. It's a pretty good river, all things considered. If he jams, I'm really not happy. Really, really not happy if he jams. If he jams, like having the ace of spades is actually almost a good thing because he shouldn't be bluffing the ace of spades over. When he checks, I feel like we're almost always good, but I don't see many worse hands calling. So I'm going to go for a check back. I kind of feel like he has 8-7 of hearts there. But yeah, I think we're good here, but I don't see worse hands calling this. And he just has a random ace queen, so very glad I called 10. Or yeah, 10. We roll slow play here. I'm not sure I ever want to do it against a fish. But when he bets, I definitely want to slow play some. Sorry, by slow play I meant if he checked, I rolled a check behind on a 90. This hand does raise sometimes, but not 40% of the time, because we use a super large size in here. And we'd have some turn leads here on a 72. I'm not going to do it. And very nice run up on the right hand table here. And I think we just want to block river. We definitely just want to block river. Pure with our hand. Min opening, this guy's playing like almost no hands. I also think this guy's a decent reg, so he might see that this guy's got insanely tight stats and that I'm min opening, and therefore he might just go crazy in the small blind. Roll just cool. I'm not sure if I ever want to raise. Pretty nice to have aces on both, though I'm pretty scared on the right. I'm not so scared anymore. We roll a bet on the right. I'm actually using half pot or check on this board. Sorry, on the left. And just going to bet big on the right. Do I want to bet or check? He has a decent amount of two pair and some draws, so I think I will bet. I'm not going to bet huge though. I don't want to scare him too much with the more marginal hands in his range. You can have 10-8 of diamonds. I think king 10, he'd almost raise flop. I don't think I want to play 3-bets here though. So I think I am just going to slow play. It's tempting to 3-bet though. And never folding river. He could potentially jam. Well, I don't think he'd jam. He ever jams worse. Against this size, I think we have to raise fold. Such a weird one. Such a weird spot where I don't feel like he has many straights. I feel like if I jam, I fold him off too much. So I'm going to go this size. This is a really weird spot. I really hope he doesn't jam. I think I'll probably cycle given the price, but I won't be happy. That's not fun. I don't think I can fold for this price. Yeah, I mean, I'm very rarely good here, but I'm just going to call. Wow. That's something. That's, yeah, poker's dead. Poker's definitely dead, guys. Don't play poker. It's a dead game. There's no money to be made in poker. What on earth is that? Alright, I'm gonna sit out next big blind and call it a vid. That one was a pretty interesting hand to finish things off on. Now I'm glad we went deeper, because if we were deeper, I might find a fold. Thing is, his river sizing, like, I just think his river sizing's so full of shit. Like, betting 40, like, who would bet 45 though with a straight? It just makes no sense at all. Like, absolutely no sense. I think he raises his king 10 off almost always on the flop. So, like, the hand I'm worried about is 10-8 of diamonds specifically. Yeah, very, very, very weird hand, but nice to receive a donation. Let's see how we did for the sesh. So this was before the sesh. I was up 463 on the day. Now up 922, so we made about 450, just over 450, 10 a bit binds. Pretty nice day overall. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely some interesting spots, especially that last one. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.